What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Eric's House. And today I'm going to do my full review of a film by the name of The Luckiest Man in America. This is a 2025 movie. I checked it out in theaters. It's about an actual real-life scandal that occurred back in the 1980s when a guy named Michael Larson figured out the game, press your luck. This is a guy who had been involved in some get-rich schemes, but he figured out how the game works. He figured out certain patterns in the way the board would go blip, 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 and he knew when to hit that stop button. He would watch the game all the time, figured out how it worked, went over for an audition, went to LA. He's from Ohio, and he somehow got on the show, and that's when he made extraordinary amounts of money. And that's when, of course, the showrunners and the backstage were freaking losing their mind. What the hell is going on here? And this film brings it to life. But what I really liked about this movie, the story was really interesting, executed very well, but having an opportunity to kind of peek backstage at these game shows that I used to watch them in the 80s, people love these game shows that come on, Press Your Luck, whatever it would be. Jeopardy, I still love to this day. Wheel of Fortune, of course, some of the big popular ones, but other games as well. Price is Right, I used to watch all the time. What we see on the TV is only one aspect. A lot's going on behind the scenes. A lot's going on backstage. Where do these contestants go? Where do they wait? When do they eat? How do things go? Who's running this show? And do they get upset? Do they freak out when things go a little bit wrong or start to go south? And we get a peek into all of that. And I think it's very faithfully done. It seems like it anyway. Enough so that I can enjoy the movie and kind of suspend disbelief and believe that this is what's happening here behind the scenes as this guy continues to win. At first, it's probably like, hey, cool, man, this guy's doing very well. Oh, this is great for ratings. Yeah, and then he keeps winning and winning and winning and winning. And then you're going, what is happening? Now we're going to lose a pretty penny here. And he keeps winning until someone has to figure out, this guy's figured out the freaking game, which leads to more controversy backstage when they find out, how is this possible? How can anyone possibly figure out the game? So it's just a very entertaining film about a very simple premise, something that actually happened. And I thought that all of the actors were fantastic. I thought that the set pieces were phenomenal. It really looked like the 80s. People talked like it was the 80s. Everything was on point as far as that goes. And you kind of connect with this guy. You kind of like this guy, even though maybe he's not the greatest guy. I don't know if he's a scammer, getting involved in get-rich schemes and all that. But you know what? As far as what he's doing now, and he figured out y'all game. And he went and he's executing that. I don't know if there's a rule against it. Y'all needed to make your game harder to figure out. You know what I'm saying? So one of the better ones in 2025. And also a big thing I need to say is this movie could have gone stupid comedy. This guy's a little eccentric. Okay, this guy's a little weird. The whole story's a little wild. They could have made this into a ridiculous comedy if they wanted to. Jokey. Guess what? That wouldn't have been realistic. Instead, they showed us what actually happened, and it was just naturally funny. You don't have to write a joke every 2 seconds. So we're getting more movies that don't do that. For a minute, it was like, dude, this is just, every movie is just a joke a second. Jokey, and practically none of it's funny. But this one, despite having every opportunity to do that, they didn't do that, and I appreciate it so much. So I really like this movie. I really didn't have a lot of issues with the film. It was pretty straightforward. It was pretty fun. It was pretty entertaining. The story itself maybe is not the best for a full-length movie. The movie does kind of just ends. It does not say, it's more along for the ride as opposed to waiting for some major reveal at the end. I mean, there's a few things that I had questions about, like, that I was wondering if they would get resolved or not. I'll just say a lot of the things I was wondering was going to happen didn't get resolved. The movie didn't continue on with his life afterwards, with his relationships with his family. I mean, I'm not trying to spoil anything, but there's some things that are resolved, I won't say, but I'm just saying, like, the way the movie ended just felt kind of like sudden, like, oh, okay, it's over. That's really my only major negative. I mean, I just was hoping for a little more resolution and a little more aftermath, shall we say, because there was definitely some aftermath, right? And I'm not saying they didn't show any. I just said I would like a little more, but that's my only real negative for the film. But I did enjoy it. Wouldn't mind watching it again someday. Overall, I think the movie, I would say this is a great film. It was really well done. I can't say it's like a masterpiece or the freaking awesome or anything insane, but it definitely did a really great job for what it was. You know, what it was a true story. Say, hey, let's make a movie about this. They took it and they did it, and they didn't change a million different things. I mean, I'm sure they took some liberties here and there, but nothing that was obvious. If you read about the actual story, which I did, it makes you interested in the actual story. So you study up on that and you watch the movie and you're like, yeah, they were pretty faithful to what happened, and I got to appreciate that. And, you know, everything looks great. The set pieces are awesome. The acting was great. I mean, what can you complain about? This is what it is. They said it is exactly what it is. It tells that story, and I think it does a really good job at doing so. And that's all I can say about this film. And it'll be possibly one of my favorites in 2025. We'll see at the end of the year, when the end of the year lists show up, where this movie is. But I really liked it. The Luckiest Man in America. Have a great day. See you next time.